Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining Maya and I as we do our little pop up live stream writing conversation sprint thing. While Maya's playing with internet technical difficulties, why don't we go ahead and start off with a sprint, that thing. So I'm going to go ahead and add 22 minutes to the clock because it's 2022 and I'm easily amused. And let's get started in a three, two, one.
Hmm. Uh, I think this thing is in here real quick, but I don't know if I can hear myself. I think this thing is in here real quick, but I don't
Hey,
know.
I totally heard you on that one. So you're in and audible.
Okay, I'm just um. Okay, you're gonna have to update. You're gonna have to update me on comments because I just got out of my YouTube account, so I don't really know what's going on. I don't use StreamYard that much, so I don't have any idea what I'm doing. But I hope you can hear me, cause
I can, and so can the entire audience. We're live.
oh, thank you. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't come for a while. I'm just
That's
uh,
fine.
it was kind of
So
weird, cause
what I usually do when I'm on somebody else's StreamYard is that I have my YouTube tab open, but I have it on mute, so then we don't get the echo, but I can comment in that chat
oh
over
yeah,
there.
that's what I was thinking of doing.
Okay,
Hold on, let me go back to it.
sure.
Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry you can't see me like face to face because I don't have a camera. So
That's
yeah,
fine.
I
Do
would
we
just
want
be.
to do you want me to cancel the sprint and just
Yeah, let's
chat,
let's do
or
that. But I don't want to ruin your fun, so I'm just not gonna.
I mean, I was just gonna let the sprint go till the end, and then we could chat a little, and then maybe another sprint.
Yeah, I need to do some stuff, but like, if you want,
Then
I could just sprint with you. But I don't have that much I need to do right now. I just really need to. Well, you can just cancel it. I'll just be talking for like a bit, introducing myself and sending links to people like
okay,
usual.
we're totally jumping out of order. Thank you all for your patience. We're gonna stop the sprint a little early and go ahead and do our intros. As you know, I'm Morgan Hazelwood. I am an actively queering fantasy author, and I recently had my first short story published on Dark Recess's webzine. Today, I have with me Mayah Robinson. Did I pronounce that right? And we're doing a live stream pop-up sprint where we're going to be chatting a little bit about writing and working on our own projects. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Oh, I'm sorry, but you mispronounced my last name.
That's why I asked. That's
I'm sorry about
literally why
that. I
I
was
asked.
kind of
Go
busy
for it.
looking at stuff. Okay, hello everybody. My name is Mayah Robinson. I am a aesthetic based fantasy and speculative writer who is a teenager, and I usually do videos on writing blogs, fantasy tips, any really like tips at all. I haven't really been posting that much lately, or I hadn't posted at all. So this is kind of my first time doing this, but that's kind of different. But I am a offer tuber who is openly POC and loves to write anything really. So I'm planning on posting at least twice a week somehow if I can. So take care, I guess. I don't know.
Um, so, what are you working on right now? What projects do you have going?
I have one project at the moment. It's a YA high fantasy novel. It's a quartet, which is 4 books, and it is about freak ex cult members in one deadly hike competition.
Dun dun dun.
It's really cool. It's pretty dark. It has a lot of anti-heroes and stuff. So, yeah, it's a bit different than what I usually write, like more down to earth stuff, but it's been pretty interesting learning about fantasy writing and just hanging out with people, I guess.
Awesome. So you said it's a high fantasy. So usually high fantasy has, elves and that sort of thing. What sort of species do you have in your world?
I guess the bloodlings are kind of my species, but I'm yet to develop them. Originally, for my story, the first thing that came to my mind for first line, what I don't remember, was something about the bloodlings, and I don't see them as a species technically. I see them more like humanoid species that resemble humans, and they have blood-borne traits of magic. I guess I hadn't figured it out yet, but I that's what I can imagine. But I don't think they play that much as a part in the actual story. But
Okay.
I'm gonna try and incorporate that whole species thing. And also, it's a secondary world. It's called Danuvian, and it's what is it based on? I don't know. It's based on Six of Crows, kind of in the world building, like the whole city kind of thing. I don't know. I really don't have that like much of an image yet, but I do have a snippet of what that whole part can be. So yeah, I'm basically writing a secondary world fantasy, which is really cool.
So are you a pantser, a plantser, or
I am a
a
plantser,
plotter? Okay.
but I'm more on the plotter side because recently I've been plotting most of my books. Like this book, I'm
It's hard
plotting.
to go into a four-parter without some level of plotting.
It's really interesting to talk about that actually. But I am pretty excited because I love talking to people, and it's really just a really good experience. So yeah, I'm a plantser, which means I'm a mixture of plotter and a pantser. Like I can do plotting, but then I kind of have to go on my own at some point. But I'm more on the plotter area spectrum because I just plot stuff more frequently than I should.
I I am a plantser. I thought on my latest rewrite that I was turning into a plotter, and then I started drafting, and the number of times I changed things midway through, and I usually write chronologically because I don't like how the flow goes when I jump around, but I jumped around so much more this time than I've ever jumped around before. So I'm like, this time I was both more plotting and more pantsing than I normally am. So that leaves me firmly where I thought I was, a plantser. So let's pop over to the comments and
Interesting
say
way of
hi to
thinking about that.
yeah, yeah. Let's pop over to the comments and say hi to everybody who came to join us. We have Isabella, hello. Devin swung by, howdy. Let's see. Alley Cat is here, hello. And we had the incident in which I trimmed Catechus's nail into my eye socket. So if you missed that, you can rewind and watch that on the replay. It's out now. We're good, I think. So, and let's see. Amelia joined us. Hello and welcome. And Alley Cat is working on 53 words of fan fiction and got up to grab a book they're planning on starting today called A Town Without Time by Abigail Ford, which sounds really fun. So, okay, caught up on the chat. Do you have uh oh, okay. Well, we all know that I am a planter of the 10th degree. So, while Maya is off, should we do another sprint? Should I think I'll just chat with y'all because I think she'll just start chatting when she pops back in. So let's see. I While I'm working on editing my NaNoWriMo project, I think tonight I'm going to be working on some poetry. My local open mic night for writers group has asked for some free verse poetry um, for their February features. And so I'm trying to come up with something. And so far, I just have something about me typing on my keyboard and getting pounced on by my cat, which, you know, clearly has nothing to do with reality, right? Uh, so yeah, that's what I'm working on today. Hopefully I'll get some more time to get through some of my edits, but this month has been a lot. One of my friends said that January was the trial month and 2022 really doesn't start till February, so I'm rolling with that. Isabella says that Isabella is writing an action slash contemporary slash romance called Bringing in the Tide, for now. And it's about an ex best friend that rejoins her friend group through the adventure they go on. Ooh. So you've got all that past history and drama and stuff they need to recover from and form new, closer, tighter bonds and save the day or, some sort of thing. So Devin says it still feels like 2020, and I can't disagree. Maya, get kicked again. I'll let you in when you get back. I'm so sorry that you're struggling with this. Some internet connections are more cooperative than others. So Isabella says their story is going to be more like Goonies, but kind of modern, which is just fun. Is a fun romp. Although I don't remember Goonies being much of a romance. So Amelia is currently working on an old trunk story that's being reworked to be more fantasy than urban fantasy and is having a lot of fun with world building. The characters are also so much better than in the original. Um, I can't add you until you have rejoined. I will add you as soon as I see that option available, Maya. Uh, so yeah, I think one of the best things about being a fantasy writer is the world building. My favorite part is world building. So that's super fun for me. Oh, sorry, dead air. What a horrible thing. Dun dun dun. So yeah, I absolutely love world building. I mean, obviously, I think I have like a series of world building discussions with Doc from several different NaNoWriMos. You can find them on my YouTube. Dun dun dun. Shameless promo. So yeah, it's been a weird year. I'm ready for things to settle down and my cat to chill out, but you do what you can and you reward kitties when they're being good and snuggly and on your lap. So yeah. Uh uh, so it's supposed to snow here this weekend or like at least whoa, hi, cat. Sprinkle a little. So it's always fun in January and February trying to schedule around weather. So Isabella says that they like to write fantasy, superhero, sci-fi, and is now working on a contemporary and did a world building class for a book they were thinking about writing and really enjoyed it and got to create a language. I hear conlangs, right? Isn't that the word? Conlangs um, are super fun for people. And I know the guy who runs the Klingon Institute and has written several grammar and, Klingon language books, which is just fun and weird. So, yeah. Hi, kitty. Who is being a good kitty? except you're blocking my keyboard. Amelia leaned into the clothing aspect of the world building. It's so easy to get lost on Google Images looking for references. And Maya's back. Yay! And we have a Chandra. Hello. Devin says up in Canada, it's been snowing off and on since November. We occasionally get snow that early, but usually it's January, February, maybe close to Christmas, but we've had more snowy Easters and balmy Christmases than the other way around. Welcome back, Maya. Hello? Oh, your microphone's off.
Is it
Catechist.
showing me? Because
Oh,
I don't
yep.
see myself
I
in
see you.
here. I'm on a different device, so I'm kind of
Oh, if
looking
you're
at it.
looking at the YouTube, it has like a 20-second delay.
It doesn't say on here that I can see myself.
Well, I can see your profile picture.
Yeah, but it's not showing on YouTube, so I have to restart it again.
Yes, no, YouTube
YouTube's
has a
being
20-second
really dumb.
delay. YouTube has a 20-second delay. YouTube is not live. YouTube is a 20-second delay from
Really, it
Scrivener.
does? I didn't know
Yes.
that. I'm not really a producer, so.
It's okay, but like,
Oh, I'm
if
sorry.
I start the timer,
Oh, now I can see myself. I'm sorry. Yeah.
no, that's fine.
Do you want to start another sprint, or can we talk? Because
We should definitely talk. I was
I
just
need
going to
to.
show you the difference in the timer on the StreamYard account versus the YouTube.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. What were we talking about again? Because I
We
kind
were
of
talking
left.
about the joy of being a fantasy author means we get to play with world building.
Oh yeah, that's really interesting to talk about. I really don't like giving advice to people because number one, I don't know. I just don't see myself giving advice to people in the future because
That's fine.
I just feel
Plenty of
like
people
I'm not really the best person to come at because I don't know. It's just I don't prefer telling people what to do. I just want them to do what they want to do. But I do have something about world building that I really have been like pushing on other writers, even though I'm a kid and I shouldn't be doing it. But I do it because that's what writer people do. I'm sorry, I'm interrupting a lot of people. I'd rather not explain, but
Are you going to tell us what it is?
I personally like to say make sure there's some logic to your world building, or at least a justifiable reason to why you have this certain kind of thing. Because I see a lot of people, they just put in this one thing and they don't justify it as being believable in that world. And I'm going to say that believable in that world because not all worlds are in the real world. I understand that completely. I bet like Harry Potter has a whole different structure than my stories because they're mostly based in like real life places. At least some of them are, but most of them are kind of like alternate
The train
realities.
station's a real place.
What? I didn't hear that.
The
I'm
train
sorry.
station in Harry Potter is a real place, and the town might be. It's just
Yeah,
Hogwarts,
but
and
yet
the
I
nine
don't
and a
really
half
consider.
platform. So
Yeah, there's a lot of inspiration to go into fantasy. I
yeah,
personally don't write kind of like Harry Potter because number
that's
one, I
fine.
don't really have like that. I can world build, but it's really hard to like make something that isn't full of D&D species or something because I love D&D and I'm a weird person when it comes to like D&D and stuff. I am going to be
A lot
checking
of
the chat, however, so
a lot of fantasy authors start
me, am
off
I a Potter fan? No.
a lot of fantasy authors start off, with writing up D&D adventures and stuff. A lot of us dabble a lot in, tabletop role-playing games of all sorts. And so, getting when they have, 12 books of different types of creatures and elementals and spirits and all sorts of things, then, it's hard to come up with something truly unique, it feels like. Um, but I've attended a lot of writing panels, and one thing that comes up over and over again is with fantasy world building is that the world needs to be internally consistent. You change your one aspect or two aspects, but everything else, I mean, people are people. They respond like people. They have wants and needs and dreams and, argue with their mothers and all sorts of things, no matter what species they are, no matter what culture they're in, you know, there's going to be some level of humanity to them almost. So, let's see. In the comments, Amelia says they heard someone say that if you want to enjoy Harry Potter, don't think about its world building too much. It starts to unravel. And there is definitely some problematic stereotypes and tropes in there. But, as with a lot of things, we have to pass through one level of um, fantasy or, one step removed from stereotypes before we get to two steps removed before, we fully understand what's going on with, you know, before we can fully understand our internal biases and confront them and hopefully evolve and move on from them. Ignoring that different people work differently isn't doesn't make differences go away, but confronting them and paying attention and, accepting that there are different types of people in the world, but making sure that they're all three-dimensional, that they're not all just tropes is really important. And I'm seriously considering an Encanto um series on thoughts inspired by it, because when you look at the movie Encanto, I don't know if I'm doing spoilers, but you have this huge family and they all have, their family roles. One is the healer and one is the moody one and one is, we don't talk about Bruno. Um and the grandmother that, leads them all. And if that's all they were, there wouldn't be a story. But because each of these people has more in them and is more than one dimensional, is where the friction comes from. And, judging someone by their family role, and then it's like if I decided my sister was a ditz and then didn't trust anything she ever told me, that's going to eat away at her and make her not feel as included and part of the family and that sort of thing. And, there are so many ways that we alienate those closest to us just by expectations. And so, re-examining that can be really helpful, and when writing characters can help flesh them out and make them three-dimensional. So yeah, I have a lot to say on that. uh, Amelia says Encanto is so good. All right. And Maya loves Dolores as a character. Me too, definitely.
Don't worry, you're not the only person that has something to say about it. I had not watched Encanto yet because I don't really watch TV, but our movies. But I heard it's really good when it comes to representation of Latino culture. It's really interesting to see how that was kind of morphed into the Disney brand, which I really don't want to get into because I'm not a I don't work for Walt Disney, so I don't know.
I mean, Walt Disney is one of those people you want to be careful how you talk about them. But I think as writers, we can all be glad that copyright is finally ending, seeing as how they dragged it out an extra 25 years. And
Yeah,
so
because
more stuff
Winnie the
is,
Pooh is becoming public domain now. It's like,
yeah, but not with the red shirt. Red shirt is still owned by Disney, so be careful. But without the red shirt, Winnie the Pooh is totally public domain.
it's weird how they're putting shirts and clothing as something you could copyright, but at the same time, brands like Adidas have like branding and nobody worries about that and people still make fun and make bootlegs out of it, but it's probably better that they're doing it because I see so many Adidas bootlegs everywhere.
Part of the problem is if it's easy to bootleg, people will, but also if a company does not protect their copyright, even if it's, somebody making 15 bucks, then they can't protect their copyright against or trademark or what have you against, a corporation trying to do it. And so they have to, crack down on the fan art in Artist Alley as well as, the professional selling t-shirts, around the world online. And so it can be a little rough. It really can.
It is rough in copyright, especially for
Yeah.
like literature and stuff. But I have no idea what I'm talking about. I really wanted to ask you a question, but I don't want to get this whole screen to be just me talking because this is a sprint, but I'm like I don't have anything to do. So
I
what?
mean, I'm one of those people who enjoys zero inbox. So whenever I'm on a stream and I don't have anything else to do, I sort my email because I am a little type A. Um, but I do host my Sunday live streams, and you know what I do? Half of my sprints are snacks. I go find snacks.
Yeah, that reminds me. I probably need to do one of the sprints later for like you know getting my tools ready and talking to people. Because I'm a better reader for people who work.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Well, let's go ahead and do a sprint then. Would you prefer a 10-minute one or the 22-minute ones I've got set
Wait,
up?
we're doing a sprint right now? I just, I
Would you
just,
like to? And then when we get back, we could talk a little more.
yeah, let's do that. I mean, I'm
Okay.
open to anything, really.
How
I
long of
just
a sprint would
really,
you like?
10 minutes is fine. I need to go. I probably need that amount of time anyway, so
Sure. I'm gonna go ahead and set that.
I'm going to go and read some books or maybe write a
Sure.
bit, but I don't know.
Okay. Let's get started then in three, two, one. And now I'm gonna mute both of us. There we go. And we're back.
Welcome, everybody.
How was your sprints?
I didn't do anything for my sprint. I just got food.
Ooh, is it tasty at least?
Yeah,
Or
I
just
got some raisins and some popcorn right now.
nice? That
Yeah,
sounds tasty.
yeah, that's
I
my snack for today, at least right now. But
oh,
yeah, I didn't do that much. I was just going on World Anvil, trying to figure out how to use it.
ooh, it can be tricky to sort out, but it's fun to play with. So yeah,
There's
definitely,
so many
definitely.
features that I can't really deal with it.
Well, see if there's one or two that are really useful for you and ignore the rest. That's how most people I've heard deal with what's that thing? Scrivener. Except me. I don't use it. So
I actually bought the whole license for Scrivener. Actually,
me too. I got a discount for winning Nano a couple years ago, and I downloaded it. And I am a software engineer. I have designed UIs, and I got the Windows version before I got updated. And I accidentally deleted 4 chapters of the tutorial trying to minimize them. If a skilled person with UI and like user interfaces messes up that badly, I think Scrivener is really handy for people with a lot of world building notes and stuff, or people who write out of order, or people who really like compiling documents. But I prefer Google Docs, or right now I'm drafting poetry as an email draft in my email. So
yeah, I agree. It's really hard to use Scrivener. Like I use something similar to it, but I only use it for drafting. That's really it.
uh, yeah, I find it way more complicated than I need, and I enjoy actually having a physical notebook to like flip through as like a resource rather than and like I don't like different chapters is different files because I don't want to have different files open, and I'm picky. It doesn't work for me. If it works for you, more power to you. I think is my opinion on Scrivener.
It doesn't work for me, to be exact. I can't even use like the simple features. I tried downloading a template from like Brittany Wang and it came out the Scrivener 2 template. It's like, what?
Yeah, yeah. I think it works better for Mac users a lot of times, or at least it used to. And I'm just like, nope. I I'm just gonna use Google Docs because it syncs between my phone and my laptop, and totally not my work computer.
Yeah.
So
When I get into another grade, I'm gonna start using study hall as a way to start writing my book. But I'm not at the stage yet, so I just go home and I'm like, let's go write today, and we just go write on the computer. I
nice.
used to use Google Docs for a lot of it, but then I heard it was kind of messy when it came to like longer stuff, and I couldn't afford. Yes.
The only issue I have had with longer documents on Google Docs is, sometimes it'll hang or whatever. All you have to do is click the work offline option, and then it's not trying to sync every 20 seconds, and it gets rid of the slowness issue because it's saved locally on your computer.
Yeah, I actually have Google Keep too.
Yeah, yeah. So just if you have trouble with longer documents, click that work offline button, and then it's basically not a problem. And if
Oh,
you don't have internet at home, you can, download it at the library, take it home, and you're good.
I have internet at home, so I just work on
Oh,
it at home.
yeah. I have some
But
friends who have spotty like satellite internet or whatever, and so I've
I'm
definitely used
sorry,
that trick
everybody.
before.
I did nothing for my stream. I just went over and looked at stuff, thought that everything was gonna be done by then. Then I just quit and get food.
Hey, I'm right there with you. Oh,
But
actually, I
actually,
did. Mhm.
I'm sorry, everybody. I am horrible with conversation when it comes to like streams. I can do it, but I can't at the same time. So I might sound. Oh, my voice is giving out. I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on today.
It's been a long week. So
I've been talking all day, so I'm kind of like tired. But I'm gonna try and do stream. Well, I don't know. This is my first time, and I think I'm doing pretty well.
it yeah, it takes practice. I know it. I think it took me 3 tries. I first tried streaming with oh, what's that program called? I don't know. It was a big, heavy program, and it worked fine when I streamed myself. And then I tried streaming other people, and my laptop basically overheated and said, I can stream or you can write, but you can't do both. So OBS, that's what it was. So that's when I learned about StreamYard and sorted it out. But if you look at my first 3 live streams, they're pretty much a hot mess. True
Yeah,
facts.
I like the whole like seeing the comments on the screen because it's hard to see it. Like I can't keep going back and forth to like YouTube and the rest of them just to look at some comments. You can just get it through here. It's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really awesome. The only thing I wish is that, guests like you could also respond to the comments in the chat rather than having to go outside to type in.
Hmm.
So, popping to the comments, Ali Cat is working on homework again, legit. And for me, I got like one verse done on a poem. So
Hmm.
just one verse. That's it. Drafted, not done, because I'm sure it will be edited.
Yeah, I actually really want to. Did I even do a whole introduction? Because I just
Yes,
said
you
my
did. You
name
got
and
it.
then I just said here. I didn't even mention something else, but I forgot what I was
Well, we
gonna
can do
say.
that during the outros.
Oh, okay. I have no idea what I'm doing.
That's fine. So you were going to ask me a question just before we went on break, on sprint, which is the
What is it
opposite of
like?
break.
What is it like actively querying a fantasy novel in traditional publishing?
It is like getting a lot of rejection letters in your inbox. Um, I
Believe me, I got a
my
rejection once.
One thing I do like to do is I like to make sure that I mix up agents that say, if you don't hear back in 6 to 8 weeks, move on with your life, with I will respond to all queries in 6 to 8 weeks. And pretty much, I always give agents double the amount of time they said it will take them to respond because that's how long it usually takes. Um, I'm really worried about the market right now because last time I was querying this current fantasy book was 2019, and I got a couple requests. I got an R&R, and then I spent a year and a half revising it with a mentor. And when I put it back out there, we're looking at the second half of 2020 and last year 2021, all I got were form rejections. And I know my story is better and stronger. So I'm like, is the market? I don't know what's going on. I know all these other people who are getting agents, and I just keep getting form rejection. I think I got like 30 last year. So it's really tough. But I'm contemplating whether or not my issue is really that I wrote an adult fantasy instead of a YA one, just because of certain tropes and stuff. And maybe the reason I'm getting the rejections is I'm targeting the wrong audience. I don't
Could
know.
be, but had you considered going to like adult publishers?
So I mean, obviously I could start off with adult publishers, but I'm gonna start off with adult agents first and see if we can go,
Yeah,
if I
well,
can
I
get
just
in.
hope that you get it done. But
Me
I'm
too.
personally not very suited in like I don't like saying this to traditionally published people, but I'm trying to self-publish.
I have I believe 80 to 90% of the AuthorTube community are indie or small press authors.
Yeah, but I
There's
have a
very
huge
few.
problem with them. Like, I will not go on because this is not supposed to be a stream where I just yell at people. So I'm just
I
gonna
don't
keep it
know
cool.
what would you yell about? I'm curious.
How like so stuck up they are. I
I mean,
mean,
I think a lot of it is what they think that they can sell and who they can sell it to and whether or not they already have an established audience. And the fact that, because of the way book publishing works, you've got to sign it 2 years in advance. And it's really hard to know what's going to be popular in 2 years. And there's only so many books they can publish. They only have so much audience and so much shelf space and so much money. And so they can only pick, let's say 50 books in a year. And every year, more and more people are writing books and publishing books. And so their share of the market is also shrinking as, indie and small press get larger and larger shares of the market. And so, yeah, they're looking for stuff that they want, but they also can only pick like five. So it's really hard. But anyone can indie publish, anyone can be a small publisher, and some of them have better quality than others. And so you really need to do your homework and be careful. And when you do go indie or small press, you have to put in all the legwork, all the marketing yourself. One advantage to traditional publishing is they can be in every Barnes and Noble in the country. Even if you're one of their mid-list authors, they're not even promoting with no effort. A small press or indie publisher can't pay for that sort of exposure. Like they don't have enough money for that. And sure, people go viral, but that's like 0.001% of authors out there. And if you're counting on going viral, then um, that's not a plan, that's a hope. So I haven't counted out going indie. I'm not against it. I haven't counted out going small publishing. I have friends who are small publishers and plenty of indie published friends. But for now, I want to go traditional because I don't know if I have enough hustle in me to sell. Sorry,
oh,
that was a lot of spiel. I may have had like 3 blog posts about it.
I never read them, so I don't know. I don't even know. I
That's
don't have
fine.
any problem.
I
I'm personally going self because
Mhm.
I feel like I have the hustle, but at the same
Yes.
time, I am kind of a different person because I've been doing a lot of stuff by myself since I was young, like real young. And I am young actually because you guys can tell because my profile pic looks like a little kid. I
I
took it
can't
at a photo
really
shoot.
figure out an age from there, so it's too small on my screen.
Yeah, I took it at a photo shoot, but I'm actually a teenage writer, and it's really hard to like
Um,
get people who support me because I go self, and it's like I'm not saying like I feel like sometimes I feel like well if anybody's going self then I should do it, but I've been considering traditional too because my books are kind of more in the commercial market.
I mean, you can always try traditional, and if it doesn't work out, self-publish.
I'm
There's
personally going
nothing
self
stopping
because I
you.
feel like I need more control over whatever I need to do, and my stories are really really specific. So I don't know though. I'm considering self publishing traditionally publishing my first book, but I don't want to deal with the paparazzi coming to my house and moving to Hollywood and doing that. I just want to stay in my Californian home and not do that.
So, I have never heard of debut novelists having paparazzis and having to move.
Well, yeah, I know, but like, especially if you get a movie deal, it's like, how are you supposed to deal with your movie casting?
Usually, you get a movie option, and then they take 5 to 10 years to decide not to use it. like big name authors with like New York best-selling whatever usually get optioned and nothing happens, but you do get money out of the movie option.
There's an option for movie?
Usually your agent will get you a movie option and they will option your book, which means nobody else can make a movie out of it. And then the producers will talk and they'll think about money, and 5-10 years later it might get made.
I
Or
would rather
the
have my
option,
book be a TV show than a movie.
yeah, but either case, TV option or a movie option, it's usually the producers will option it, which means they have 10 years to make the movie or the TV series with it, and if they don't, then the rights revert to you. No matter what happens, if you sign any contract, you should always have the rights revert to you after X amount of time. With
I
a
am
short
yet to.
story,
I don't even know how these contracts work. So
you can resell stuff. You can find new publishers if the old one goes defunct, but you should always make sure that the rights revert to you.
how do you know that? Because I had never. I want my right to be there. Because what if I want to like publish it somewhere else?
Well, that's part of what happens when you go to a publisher is they get exclusive rights to it for X amount of time, and that's going to be in the contract.
Yeah, it's under. I know that already. It's just I was kind of confused.
Yep.
But there's not that much that I really want to go to self because number one, control, and number two, I feel
Totally.
like I can do it because I mean I probably can't, but I'm gonna try.
You can 100% do it. The question is, um, your income is going to rely on your hustle and, obviously the quality of your work and the market and luck and so much else. And so, you know, you can definitely self-publish. The question is, are you going to sell to 5 people or 50,000 people? And it's hard. It's hard to find an audience.
Yeah, I can tell. I'm sorry, guys. This is really weird
What are you
talking about
sorry about?
publishing. Publishing is really not something I talk about on my YouTube channel. I talk about a lot of like I want to do a history video on fantasy histories because I love writing lore and I really want to share my input, but it's probably not going to be that original, so probably won't be doing it anytime soon. But I have a YouTube channel, so anyone who wants
Linked
to check
it
that
down
out,
below. It's linked below.
I hadn't posted there yet, but I am planning on. I
Of
don't know
course.
why. It's just I've been really busy lately with like school and writing books and stuff. But I want to ask you: do you have any questions for me?
I mean, I've been sprinkling them in as we go along. I'm not very patient with my questions. Um, ah, I mean,
Anybody can free to
what's
ask them in the
what's your
comments.
yeah, what's your favorite part of the writing process? Do you like brainstorming? Do you like drafting? Do you like editing? Do you like it when you figure out exactly why this happened and everything just comes together, which is my favorite.
I hadn't figured one out yet, but I can say that the outlining process is one of my favorites out right now. At least,
Wow. Okay.
yeah, I'm that kid. I love outlining. It's kind of weird to tell people like I love it. It's like why do you like it? It's like it's something I like doing. It's in my process. I can't even write a book without it.
I mean,
So
there's
can you
plenty of
not
people who can't.
expect?
So let's see.
I don't mind pantsers. I just really just ain't one. So yeah, I'm gonna be checking the chat for a bit because
Sure. Yeah.
somebody asked me what makes you want to write stories. This is from
Yeah.
Bonnie. I
Hello,
will answer your
Bonnie.
questions.
Hello, Better Days, and hello, just in case. So go ahead and answer the question.
Okay, here's the question: what makes you want to write stories? Is this for Morgan or me? Because I don't know
It's
at
for
this point.
everybody, but why don't you start off?
I personally love writing stories because it's been in my culture for a bit. When I was younger, I used to love telling stories orally. It was really interesting. I loved making fantasy lands and random kid stuff, and then I kind of stopped writing for a bit because of school. And weirdly enough, The Outsider brought me back into writing. So, yeah, I used to write contemporary, but then I gave up because it was too boring.
My problem with contemporary is people
That's
will
all.
know if you get the
I just
details
it's
wrong.
yeah,
If you're not
it's really
if you're
hard to
not
like
writing
do it. So
contemporary,
I just
nobody
said,
can
well,
tell
I
you.
like speculative anyway.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, you can keep talking. I'm just eating popcorn right now.
Sure. Okay. For me, what makes me want to write stories is that I have this idea of a world and characters and vague ideas of what they want or what's going to happen. And I don't find out who they are or what's happening if I don't write it. They're just these vague ideas in my head. And so if I don't write the story, I never find out what happens. And I just want to skip to the good part. But no, I have to write the story first. Ah. So let's see. Hopping into the comments, just in case, did want to let us know that you can go viral, but not with your book unless you first go viral with serial killing, political scandal, whatever news media swelters in. Some authors that have gone viral,
Person
but
who has read books from people like that, I can agree that's probably the only way I could become viral. But I'm not gonna do it.
yeah. So Justin Case says for Bonnie's question, personally, Justin doesn't like writing stories, but likes having written them. And I think a lot of us are there. I mean, I do like world building and I do like getting to know my characters. So I don't hate the writing process. I do get tired of the editing process, though. No one told me how much editing and revision and editing there was in writing. I should have known. Dun dun dun. So,
Hmm.
uh, so
I guess that is.
did you want to do another sprint?
Um. Well, I'm not really sure. But I'm not trying to be like we can't do it because this is what the thing is about, and I didn't come here to talk. But
So on Sundays I usually have my 2 hour live stream, and sometimes we have 4 20-minute sprints, and sometimes we have three, and the rest is just all talking. So I'm open to chatty live streams, and I'm open to let's see how much we can get done live streams and everything in between.
okay, I'll think about it for a bit. I am yet to figure out.
Okay. Isabella says that they started writing seriously around age 12 as a distraction from life. And now Isabella's going to be 13 soon, and it's become a hobby and still a distraction. And just so Isabella can eventually get their stories out to others. I love that. Yeah, definitely. 100% getting the stories out there. Oh,
Fun fact: I am a teenager, so that makes me really happy. You want to write stories?
yeah. Yeah, definitely. I've been writing stories since I think I could write. Although they were usually fairy tale knockoffs. So, with my space fantasy, I'm going back to my roots.
Quick question: can I read some of my work?
Yeah, maybe just a minute or two, but definitely. Go ahead.
I'm actually never mind. I don't want to.
Okay, we don't have to.
Hmm. Oh, okay. We probably should have named it Chatting Scream instead of like the sprint, but it's inevitable now. So I'm gonna try and keep it a bit simple because I am getting a bit tired and I have to go to bed around like 8, so I'm probably gonna be leaving around like 7. So
Why don't we do one more sprint and then we'll chat some more and you can
yeah,
share your
let's do
work.
that. I need to.
Yeah. Okay. In 3, 2, 1, go. And we're back. I got
Hey,
another verse done on my poem. Did you get anything done, Maya?
I what did I do? I just I just added my project to NaNoWriMo.
Awesome.
That's it. I haven't been doing that much because like I don't have enough like energy to do it in front of people. So yeah, I
That
have a.
makes sense.
Is there a thing with me where like if I do something and I talk to people about it too much, I don't do it. So
Yeah, I found for me that on live stream, I'm okay doing my blog stuff, which is short 20, 30-minute um, things, and I can do writing sprints, but editing needs longer stretches for me. So maybe I'll do like a, I don't know, half hour, 45-minute s- sprint, but that's more of a marathon. So I usually don't edit or beta read when on stream, except once. I did it once, and Devin enjoyed my 75-minute long sprint, and I went 3 hours over because I was like, I gotta get this done. I'm gonna sprint. There's the timer. Leave me alone.
yeah, I don't blame you. I had times where like I do stuff and I don't even talk to
Mhm.
people until later.
Yeah, yeah, it's hard. That's why, when I'm trying to be super productive, I do
Okay,
go
I'm
longer
a bit
sprints.
kind of burnt out right now from like fixing up the young. Wait, you kind
Uh-huh.
of froze up for a bit. I'm sorry.
Fine, keep going. Can
But
you hear me?
everybody, I am probably gonna take a break for the next sprint once it happens because I have a bad attention span.
I think a lot of us do. Do you mind if I hop into the
Okay,
comments?
I am not sure what the.
I'm gonna go ahead and hop into the comments. Let's see. Isabella says they started writing serious. Oh wait, I already did that one. Um, says they were 8 when they started writing fanfic, and I called that out as the amazing gateway drug. Not that fanfics can't be amazing literature, because many of them are. You just can't monetize them and sell them. And Maggie joined us. Hello and welcome. Justin says that they once made a small sculpture that others used for a conspiracy theory, and unbeknownst to me, it went viral on sites worldwide, got headlines in British newspapers, articles. Oh my goodness. Wow. Chapters in popular science books, YouTube documentaries. And my name wasn't mentioned, and I didn't ever make a nickel. Yeah, going viral very often nets you nothing. Um, and let's see, Maya, you already said you were tossing in a prompt. Barrett is here. Hello and welcome. You're awesome. Wait,
Oh
wait. No,
Jesus
you're
Christ!
awesome.
I just forgot. I
Uh-huh.
accidentally used my other account, which I'm not supposed to use for offer to because I have an old one.
Did I link the wrong one? I can update it if you need me
No,
to.
you linked the right one. It's just I forgot to comment on the actual site. So it showed
Oh,
up
no.
as my alternate account, which I used to have, but then I just stopped using it because it was boring and I didn't have anything to use it for.
That happens.
But now I'm have an actual account, so I'm sorry if that was confusing for some people.
Yeah.
Um, I am now on my other account.
Sure. Isabella got 100 words in, kept deleting the scene because they didn't like how it was going. Um, Apparently, Justin
Oh
and
no,
Maggie are both having trouble with buffering. And Wordsmith Sarah is here. Hello and welcome. Using the sprint to update the computer. Yay. So, okay. Caught up with the comments. Oh, for focus, Isabella says, same ADHD really gets me. I I accused a friend of not listening long enough to know what ADHD was, or they said they didn't. And I said, it's because they went to the Wikipedia page for ADHD, got halfway through the first sentence, saw a link and clicked it and never got back to it. Because that's exactly how that ADHD friend of mine works. Loves Wikipedia rabbit holes. So
I
totally
have
called him
gone
out on
through a
that
huge
today.
rabbit hole of Cloud Kitten Chronicle videos lately, so
I know, right.
um I actually support upper YouTubers. I want to collab with Cloud Kitten Chronicles, which is like a YouTuber channel
Okay.
in a far future, but it's not going to happen because I am probably not going to get that big enough to get a whole popular YouTuber on my radar. So, in the meanwhile, I'm supporting the smaller ones. I want to do
Thanks.
one with Black Girl Writing because
Yeah, I
I have
totally understand that
commented on
one.
her post and she really liked it. All right, I have news for people who use Discord. Which I don't think anybody here uses Discord, but self
We
promo
we
alert.
met
I
on
have a
Discord.
Discord server. What?
I said, you're talking to the person who met you on Discord. So,
No, I'm talking about my Discord. I have one for my
oh, okay.
VIP in
Yeah,
case
no.
somebody wants to join. So if you guys have Discord, which I don't think you guys have, I will check right now. I don't think anybody has mentioned it. But if you do have it, there is a Discord server for my VIP, the Dark Room Quartet, which you might have not heard of before, but you probably have heard about the first book at least. It's a four-parter series, and it's a YA fantasy. So, you interested in the dark fantasy with anti-heroes and villains and angst? Definitely check me out. I guess sounds like I'm like doing those weird cliche YouTube videos, but it's I'm serious. I you have to check me out if you like that kind of stuff because I mean, I'm not the only person, but like I consider myself one of the out of the people who do these things. And I will talk about YA trends later because I researched quite a bit on almost too much on YA. So,
I
any
mean,
questions
oh
about it?
no, don't make me research by reading all the books. No, anything but that. Twist my
I
arm.
won't. I promise. I just mean like trends and stuff I see, which is mostly like.
Yeah, no, I definitely.
Oh, I want to remind people. I'm gonna send you all the link to my Discord server. So if you have Discord, I will. But I don't think anybody does. But I'll just send it in.
I am on 21 servers. I think I'm maxed out, unfortunately. You might need to send it to me. It might block links.
Sorry, I will definitely send it to you. Hold on,
Yeah,
but you don't have to
that's
join. You
fine.
could just share in the comments later if you want, of course.
Better days, I totally have a poker face for everybody else I'm playing with.
Okay, I send it to you. Okay. Um is there
Face.
anything else I need to say about myself or is that kind of weird? I don't know. No. Okay. I guess
Anything
this
you
is a
want.
bit weird. I actually am writing another book, or at least I'm gonna try and write a novella.
And
But I'm yet to figure out what that's gonna be about. So
I usually try to write down my ideas. And you know how some people have journals? I just have a Google. email draft that sits in my drafts folder, and when I'm ready to write something new, I go look and I'm like, what was I thinking about writing again? Oh yeah.
I'm more like a Google Docs person where I just write down a bunch of weird stuff on there and I'm like, oh, what kind of magic system did I use? And then I'm like, oh, it's right there.
You think, but if it's less than 2 pages, I don't open Google Docs. I don't know why.
I personally do the opposite. I if it's less than 2 pages or less than 1 page, then I just go on Campfire or World Anvil, which is not sponsored because I don't sponsor any
Gotcha.
of these.
Yeah, no. Although, if you would like to sponsor me,
I don't
I
have a
don't.
company yet. I wish I did, but I'm not. I'm
Oh,
not
I
a
meant
business.
in case they accidentally heard us talking about it. Not that it's ever going to happen, but you know.
They could probably be like, "Hey, you want to go advertise this, whatever." But
I'm
I
not big
hope
enough.
this does not get into like if Campfire watching this. I don't want anybody to sponsor anybody right now because I already get enough.
I can't be sponsored anyway yet because my channel is not big enough. So,
Me either, so I probably we will be okay. But if you guys
as we
want to
already
check out
discussed.
Campfire, it's Campfire Writing now. It's no longer Campfire Blade because they rebranded everything apparently. So
Yeah.
I personally love Campfire for more general stuff. For like anything else, I just use Google Docs or World Anvil, which I've been using more often lately because of my complicated world.
I have
But
never
that's kind
checked
of
out Campfire before.
it's a really good site if you're like interested. I like to say I don't advertise these things because number one, I don't even know how this works. So there would be no way I can be like, this is a good idea because some people don't use these websites and I don't want to push it on them that they have to be a good writer. But I personally think it's a good resource for like people like me who do a lot of like world building and need like a
I
place.
Yeah. I believe the best thing to do with any sort of advice is, hey, this works for me for these reasons. If these things appeal to you, you might want to check it out. I don't like saying, if you do that, you're wrong. Do this, shut up. You know, that doesn't really that's that's not this is writing. Do what works for you and remember what worked on the last story might not work this time, so feel free to switch it up.
I personally hate when people like put it on me that I have to use this thing. It's like, dude, I don't have any like I don't even know what it is. If I don't want to use it, I have the right not to use it.
Definitely, definitely. I give ridiculous
Oh, I
amounts
didn't
of
check the
writing
chat. I'm
advice.
sorry, everybody.
No,
Uh,
you picked up with the chat.
nothing
You're good.
happened, I guess.
Nope, you're
I
good.
actually want to give myself a tragic backstory about what this thing came up, why my profile pic is this, but I went to a photo shoot with some other person, and they took took a picture with me of me, and this is how I chose it because it would look the most professional.
I love it. I think it's really dynamic. Like literally,
I
because
don't
your
know.
emotion
I
and
did it for
you
no reason. I
it's
was
it's
kind of
it's
crazy.
just fun. It's a fun composure. I like it a lot. Mine is very stereotypical writer. Whoops. Oh. Here we
Hi,
go. That's
welcome
what I
back.
wanted to do. And my
Yeah,
super secret is I don't like tea or coffee, so there was hot cider in there.
mine's is my original profile pic is actually an image I edited myself.
Fun.
So you know the picture on my profile pic, I actually used a design platform to design that because I need like a vintage kind of like minimalistic kind of thing. So I just took a picture of
Fun.
a photo that I found on Unsplash and I just edited it a bit.
Fun. Okay.
So that's why I
Well,
look like this. But this is not my actual profile pic for the channel. This is something else entirely.
that's fine. That's fine.
Okay, well I have to probably leave around like I probably have to
Sorry.
leave around like 7 because I have to go to school like a kid because I'm a kid and I love going to school. So I
Well,
can't stay up that late, but I could try. I mean, probably won't be that
So let's just
successful,
go
but
ahead and do our outros and wish everybody luck and head out. I'm sorry I made you want cider, Isabella. It's not my fault. It's delicious. You
I
can't
don't like
blame me
apple
for it being
cider. I'm
delicious.
sorry.
That's totally fine. I don't like coffee
Tried
or
it once,
tea.
but never try again. Oh right. Um, what else could I possibly put into
So
this
tell them
thing?
who you are, where they can
There's a whole
find you,
list of
and
it.
what sort of stuff you share.
But that's for outros. I'm not leaving yet.
Are we not there yet? I thought we were kind of coming up at on 7 your time, and I've got to roll soon too. We've got 5 minutes left.
No, I have to. I'm actually gonna leave around like 7. That's pretty much my minimum.
Okay, I thought you were two
Why
hours
can I
off
not
from me
spell
because I
today?
gotta kind of roll soon. So I'm gonna bounce. You can stay on without me. That's totally fine.
Yeah, but I don't know how to run streams, so I'll probably have to leave
Sorry.
too because I don't.
I'm sorry.
I have like another collab I have to do. So
Gotcha. Yeah, I usually do two
yeah,
hours.
hopefully I can do it. It's
So
almost 2 hours, so we could wait a bit. But
yeah,
it's like right now it says we're at 1 hour and 39 minutes.
that's because we had those first 20 minutes of technical difficulties.
Yeah, but what is it technically right now? Like, how many hours has it been? Like 2? I
I
don't know.
mean, I didn't hit broadcast until you were on or almost on. So where
Mm,
it says live, 1 hour and 40 minutes is how long we have been live. Although the
So
chat opened up before that.
yeah, so it might be messing up, but I guess for the rest of the minute, I'm just gonna fill in until you have to go. So I hope nobody can see me like this. I don't even have a face right now. Like I'm not showing it because I don't. Number one, privacy reasons, and
Yeah, you're,
my
you're
camera's not working. So
that's totally fine. There are plenty of author tubers who never show their face for privacy reasons or internet streaming reasons, etc.
oh
Or preference.
it's my preference because I like the more like anonymous kind of things because my videos are mostly aesthetic based. So like showing my face would kind of ruin it for me at least.
That totally makes sense. So well, I am going to have to give my outro. Thank you all for coming. I am an actively querying fantasy author. You can find me sharing writing tips and writerly musings with writing tips from the pros and my own writerly musings on my blog, my vlog, and my podcast because I have no concept of limits and I'd rather spend time on my social media than my writing. No, that can't be right. But anyway, this week I was sharing writing stories inspired by hidden histories. It was a panel I saw at Worldcon DisCon 3 in December, and it was talking about how minority groups and histories of indigenous people and that sort of thing, a lot of their histories are really starting to be rediscovered and investigated and found, and how to find accurate sources and how to use them to inspire your own writing rather than going with the textbook version that doesn't include viewpoints outside of a certain demographic. So it was a really fun panel and I really enjoyed it. And you can find that on morganhazelwood.com or YouTube/Morgan Hazelwood, which if you found me here, you can find that. And what was my episode this week on the podcast? Let's see. It was my 5 biggest fears when facing feedback. So wherever you see podcasts, it's on writing tips and writerly musings. So thank you all for coming. I hope you got a little writing in and I might get a little more myself. So bye-bye. Have fun, Maya.
Wait, okay, I'm writing this thing now, so I'm sorry. So yeah, I'm basically running this whole thing apparently, so I probably should have had done it on my channel. All right, I will go. And here's the thing: if you guys want to continue, I will be doing this on my own channel as well. But this might be a bit weird for a first video, so if you guys want to join me on there, I have a link to my channel in case you're wondering. Let me go open it up real quick though. If y'all are interested in anything really interesting, I am gonna be doing. This is my channel, in case you're wondering. So you just copy and paste that, and yeah, you could just see it there. But I'm gonna try and see if, because I was thinking about doing a collab with somebody else, but like I don't remember where they're at right now. So I'll see y'all later. Bye.